I think everything should be in order. It's been a while. It's been a long while since I did a stream. I don't. Do I even have like an audience at this point? I don't even think I do at this point. I think I just have people that are subscribed to me, and then they just they probably completely forgotten that I existed. That's probably what happened. There's no way. I'm gonna keep this stream, well, not relatively short, but I'm gonna just kind of say straight to the point that I'm just testing out combat arts. I've seen a lot of shorts of people using combat arts, and some of them using them really strangely, and I just don't understand why. And I almost never use them because punishing with them, it's not that it's difficult, it's just not as rewarding, I'd want to say. Personally, right now, I'm testing One Mind, which is the most used or the most seen combat art on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, depending on whatever you watch it on. And I just wanted to see how effective it was. I'm actually going to turn down the audio in my on my headphones. Too low. That should be good. I originally just finished with Emma. I could test it out on an actual boss, because I'm on New Game Plus 50 or 49. So I could definitely go fight Ishin and go see. What's a boss here that I have not tested it on? True Monk. I haven't tested it on her. Let's see. For the record, I do the same play style and everything. It's just I'm starting to utilize more combat arts. For reasons, I guess. I honestly just started randomly doing it, and I thought it would be fun. Makes gameplay a little bit more interesting. This woman has virtually zero openings, so this is going to be interesting. Ah, shit. Alright, well, that one would have went better if I realized what that second strike was. That was my bad. Uh-oh. There we go. Got her. What are you doing with that? No. Hell no. Not in my house. Alright, let's do this. Okay, one hit it. I messed up that second to last one. Nope. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that one went a little bit better. That one mine was a little bit better. I instantly learned the few times when I learned this. If you ever, and I mean ever, want to use One Mind as your primary combatter or just want to try it out, always dodge cancel the second part of it. Never contribute to the full thing. It's not worth it. I have gotten smacked and probably killed 90% of the time. I usually do it if I know that the boss cannot power through it. So let me show you what I'm explaining. So this is the combat art in full. This is what it does. Everyone knows this, yeah. Everyone knows this. I only do this part. I do not contribute to the slash at the end. And on bonus with that, I actually do not contribute to the pose that he does either. What I do is I do this. As soon as it comes out, I dodge immediately so I can have instant recovery on my character, and that way I can start doing shit like combos, maybe get a hit in, maybe block an attack that because they managed to power through the whole 7 slashes, which would make them open and also allow me to build posture at the same time. It's a neat little thing. Only problem is that the second part of it does not do a lot of damage. If you really wanted to do good damage, the first and the second hit have to land. Or not the second, the third. But the third one is not worth doing. I found this out mainly fighting against Genichiro. Him, to be honest, it really depends on the boss, because Genichiro, I've never found him really powering through any of my stuff. But at the same time, I was too paranoid to try and just do that. So I never really did it. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll try and contribute to the full thing to see like the downfalls of using it, especially against big bosses like Guardian Ape, True Monk. Yeah, never commit to the full thing. It's not worth it. Okay. Yeah, like see, he was trying to do an attack. And if he was a little bit more bulkier, he probably could have, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest. But since he's not like his grandpappy, he cannot for some reason. So he's the only boss I ever go full out on with the combat art. Sometimes I don't, because I just don't think it's worth my time to try it. There are a lot of more ways to be punishable, or taking advantage of. Like, if you just dodge cancel it, you can just get more pressure on bosses. And it's just really satisfying. I actually do love Genichiro, though. He's like one of my top 5 favorite bosses. Ran out, that's okay. Because I got the power of my blood. See? Super easy, super fun, really satisfying to pull off if you can actually manage to get your sword to land on the enemy. If you do it quick enough, like, you can hit them, like, mid-stagger, so they cannot defend against you at all. It's, like, really satisfying to pull off when you can. Probably the best part of the game, in my opinion. Thanks for that. Yeah, see, like, that's just much better. Yeah, you ever use one mind, don't contribute to the full thing. Dodge cancel the shot, the AoE part. And that is what will get you W's against, like, most bosses. You do have to be a little bit quicker with certain bosses, though, like bosses like 100% tank through anything, like big bosses like Guardian Ape, Headless Ape, the monk bosses, who else? Demon of Hatred, like all of them. You have to be a little bit quicker with the dodge cancel. With humanoids, not so much. But it is satisfying to pull it off if you can do it correctly. The fact that you can force them to take like a normal sword attack is just insane. Ooh. I wonder if I can even do those. Alright. Hup! Yeah, like, I honestly thought she was gonna power through that. so it was just better for me to dodge cancel in general. Yeah, see, like, do you see how satisfying that is? Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that Owl is also one of these bosses that can take through it. So it's not so more is that, like, just dodge cancel all the time. You really just gotta know what bosses can stagger, can power through it or not, pretty much. Thank you, I tried really hard. Tried very hard. Is she gonna fall for it? Yes, she is. One time I actually did that and it did not work. She actually immediately did this. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was hilarious. Whoa, hey, come on. I thought we were having a thing here. Come on, don't ruin it. You ran into that. Okay, I'm waiting for her to activate the thing. Yeah. That is much better. And then I'll just run around. Come on, Bo. Come on, bro. Hoi! Alright. Sadly, I couldn't get the full thing off, which is a little depressing, but hey, what can you do? Ah, shit. Ooh. And if you're lucky enough, you can actually dodge a strike too with that. So just keep that in mind. Very open option, really. God, it's been forever since I streamed. I almost forgot, like, how to be a YouTuber, pretty much. Can you even really call it that, though? Can I even call myself a YouTuber at this point? I mean, hey, if you guys want to keep seeing videos, like, you guys gotta give me a sign. Anybody, really. Anyone who watches the channel or just, like, watches my streams in secret when I don't know. Like, you guys gotta give me a sign. Let's try this. Actually, wait, hold on. Just making sure it was still up. I'm gonna try it against Guardian Ape. This is gonna be my first time trying to utilize this with Guardian Ape. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna do it how I normally do it with most characters. Or with most, like, big enemies. Or how I use Dragon Clash against them, really. Yeah. Oh! You ain't hitting me, bitch. Spoopy? Oh, spoopy. That is the quickest I've taken him down, though, so that is... Don't know how quick it's gonna be for when I do the headless ape, but we're gonna see. I'll just drink tradition. Okay. Bitch. Oh, you're actually gonna do an attack. You usually start out with the, He usually starts out with the roar, so that was a little unexpected. That's okay. You got this. Okay, get that back. Or he does that. Or he winds a little bit. Wow, I have been fucking up on parries. Come on. There we go. God damn it. I was doing great until I started trying to do this guy. And he starts off with a sweep. Really nice. Really glad that I can utilize any parries or anything like that. Oh, another sweep. Really glad that he's wasting my Yashara here now. I hate this boss. He's just infuriating because he never does what you really need him to do. Back over here. Come on, do an attack. Do a combo. Not that. is what I mean. He never does what you need him to. Like, when you need him to do a combo, he almost never does it. There we go. And... there we go. That did pretty decent damage, and that's the first boss that I can actually legitimately do that fully without getting punished. So that's not bad. I thought that was going to hit me. Luckily, I did not. There we go. Bang, 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 and bong. That could have gone a lot better, but hey, we did it. I found Dragon Flash to be like really fucking useful. It's low Spirit Emblem cost. It's just really nice overall. I haven't really tried any of these. I'm kind of curious. Ugh. I don't know what the hell that was. How many Spirit Emblems does this cost? 2. Luckily the dash part is not part of it, so... I'm gonna try and utilize this, see how effective it is. Someone simple. Not too simple, though. I think Genichido. I usually use Genichido. Sometimes I use Ishin, but I mainly use Genichido. Especially for, like, starting ones. Like, this is gonna be the first one that I'm legitimately using in a boss fight. I almost never use this. So, this could be interesting. Oh, that was my attempt. No. I'm gonna try a little bit more. A bit of trial and error here and there. Yeah, that's not bad. That's terrible. If I could get it fully charged, that'd probably be better. It's okay. I think it could be better. If I'm being completely honest, I think it could be better. I mean, I guess it's mainly for health damage. That's all I'm seeing. I think it's mainly for health damage. I don't think it really does anything for posture. Hold on, let me see what it does for health. I wasn't really paying attention to his health bar. Let's see if I can pull this off. I mean, he did, but I didn't get hit, so... Ow, and now I'm getting my ass beat. There you go. I just need it. Ooh, that's actually not that bad of health damage. I think that's what it's mainly for, though. Ow! I keep dodging that a little too early. It's a problem I have. He knew I was going to do it, so he shot an arrow at me. Interesting. I actually do not know if they can block that. It doesn't seem like something they can, actually. Up. That's not bad. That's not a terrible combat art. Yeah, like, I really need to get better at dodging that. Like, I've been playing this game for I don't know how long, and I still fuck up on that dodge on that last arrow. Nice. Okay, so he's gonna do the thing. Kitty, and bam. I thought I rolled into him. That was really bad. Man, I just wanted to be embraced that day, I guess. I don't know. Alright, let's try it now. Yeah, it's alright. I don't think I'm going to utilize it as like my favorite. I don't really think it's worth that. I do know that the Sakura dance is like probably one of my favorites, mainly because of what you can do with it. Oi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason you would want to do that is the fact that you can do, like, air takedowns with it. That's pretty much it. Sakura Dance is, like, the only one that I can effectively use as a lightning retaliation. There are a few air ones that, could do that, but probably not. Hold on, let me check. I think I've tried the High Monk one. Yeah, this one. Which wasn't really that good. It's okay. It's a little weird. I do kind of like One Mind. It's like not that bad. It's definitely not as good as people say it is. Everyone's saying that like this is like the shit. This is the one. This is the fucking combat art you want to be doing. Which personally I don't think that. Personally, in my opinion, there are only two that are really good, and that's Sakura Dance and Dragon Flash. Mortal Blade, I've tried that. It's good, but it's really for selected people. Like it really just depends. I've tried it, and there are multiple occasions where I tried to do it, and then I will get hit like mid charge. What I've learned is like use the charge for a punish, and then just do a normal slice after that. Like don't charge up both, or charge the first one, or don't charge the first one and then charge the second one. I always find it more effective to charge the first one and don't charge the second one. Because you want to get as much damage out of this as possible. I could not have explained that, like, any worse. Like, that was the worst explanation I've ever given. Let's do Ishin this time. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Like, if you're gonna punish hard, like, punish hard. But don't try to punish twice as hard. It's not worth it. I've been getting smacked most of the time every time I try to charge the second one. And all it does is just get increased range and a little bit more damage. Like, it's not that big. It's really got to be selective-wise, too. Like, right there, like, charging it would be a death sentence. Like, there would be no point in it. Hey. It was just like... it was just like, oh, hey, how you doing? You bit! You called my mama gay one time. Like, this would be a good punish. Right here. Boop. And then, it's a normal one. Still does decent damage. Not as much as I would think it would, but it still does good damage. Okay, hold on. Gotta get set up here. And then I'll just heal up from this. Bitch. Bitch. Oh, I fucked up that block really badly. I'll heal after this. Bitch. Huh, that phase went a lot quicker than I thought it would have. Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna punish hard with this, but only twice. Like this. There we go. That was a good punish. I fucked up that block. I don't know what happened there. I like lost all focus of my brain. Oh, hey. Bitch. Yeah, that would not have been worth to do the second one, because I don't think I would have been able to last for the second one. Up and up. Yeah, really selective. You really got to choose your moments with it. But yeah, if you could utilize the Mortal Blade correctly, heavy damage. Like, I don't know how long that boss took. I barely used it in second phase. I used it like once in second phase, which is a little depressing. I thought he would have given me a little bit more moments to use it, but other than that, yeah. The Mortal Blade is okay combat art. in terms of like functionality. I wish they added some DLC in this game. This game really would do really well with some DLC. And I'm honestly really depressed about that, which I'm hoping that the Elden DLC better be perfect because of this. Like, since they didn't add DLC for Sekiro, the Elden Ring DLC might as well be godlike. If it's not godlike, I am going to be severely frustrated because they would have been wasting so much time on Elden Ring when they could have made a decent, or not a terrible one, but at least a decent DLC for Sekiro. I would be perfectly fine with a decent DLC and maybe like a few more outfits because I love the outfits. And some new combat arts, like that would have been cool. But instead of getting DLC, we got Elden Ring and a few other things. So I'm hoping the Colosseum was a huge disappointment for me in Elden Ring, but I'm hoping that the actual DLC, like the new area, which should be a new area, or just new expansion to the game, that has to be perfect now because of what they missed out on. I would have dumped thousands of dollars into Sekiro if they kept working on it, but no. Either way, I'm going to change this real quick. I'm going to go with... This one's pretty good too. I actually do remember that, but I think you need a certain ninjutsu to make it effective. The blood one, I wish you can use ninjutsus on bosses. I don't think you can, which is the sad part. I don't think you can. If you can, that would be fantastic. At least with like humanoid ones, not like big boys. But like with humanoid enemies, like you should be able to do that. I'm gonna stick with floating passage. I want to use it, but hold on, let me see something. It's a little depressing that you can't like do that. I just find it a little depressing. I don't know. Maybe you can use it. Maybe you can use the blood one on bosses. You should be able to use the blood sword on bosses. That would have been cool. I don't think it's going to work that way. I think you basically have to like buff up before going there. And in this, like, you're pretty much fucked. Like, there's no reason to do buff up. That you really can't. You can use items, but like, you can't really use any ninjutsus. I wish there were better ninjutsus too. I love the blood smoke one. I love a lot of them, actually, to be honest. Oh, okay, well, I death blowed him, but he immediately turned around for that one. Did I do that? Again! How long have I been playing this game, and why is that still a problem? Come on, man. Get it together. I need to get myself together. No, it's just like last time. Luckily, he has really bad aim with that for some reason. Okay, so I'm gonna quit the battles real quick because I need to remember how to do this flip over. I'm gonna quit the battles, go to the thing, and then like train and like refresh my brain. I think, don't you just walk up to them and then just pretty much like jump on them and it'll like vault over? I don't know. Hold on, let me exit. Let's see. Okay, travel. I'm gonna go to the temple. For anyone who does watch this, I am curious what your favorite combat art is, since this whole entire stream slash video has been like completely combat art based. I won't kill him yet. I need to do some stuff. Yeah, the vault over. I want to do the vault over. I need to remember how to do that. The enemy's posture is broken in combat. Vault over can use to jump over behind them to perform a backstab death blow. Use vault over to perform. Oh, okay. Ah. So that's what I was doing wrong. You just click X near them. Cool. Cool. Alright, so I remember that. You know what? I'll give him his death. He deserves it. In a good way, anyway. I don't know why, but like saying the that phrase after that conversation that they had just sounds a little weird. Yeah, sure, I'll give him his death. He deserved it. Fucking bastard. He stole my nacho cheese. And I don't like that. Alright. Here we go. Okay, so now that I should have known how to do the vault over. I feel really dumb. Let me try Genichino again, since I remember how to do the vault over now. I don't know if it should work. At least the vault over part. I don't think the, I'm not sure that the actual ninjutsu will work. Fool! I only found the floating patches really useful if you have the blood sword activated because of how much damage that does. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't do it against him. So you just can't do ninjutsus against bosses. That's really sad. That's really depressing. Because it would be so nice if you can like buff off bosses. Since there's not a lot of ninjutsus, I just wish you could be more flexible about them with bosses. There's only two that are really useful in there's two that are really useful in just PvE, just like out in the world. But there's only one that's really useful against bosses, and you can't even use it. So there's only one boss that's really used against, aside from the training, anyway. Hoi! I'm a slippery little ear. Here, baby. I'm very high on posture. Keep an eye on that. Cool. Got my posture back, and this guy's dead. So I'll switch out that Jitsu. I was just really hoping that you could use it for that. It's a little sad that you can't do that. So much wasted opportunity with that. I'll just go Blood Smoke, because that's the one that I use the most. I wish the Blood Blade was a little bit better. I really, really want to be able to use that, like, legitimately for a fight. But you can't. What could I use? I'll go back to One Mind, because I need to get better at using that. I think I'll do, like, 2 more bosses. Actually, no. I feel like cutting the stream a little bit short, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually test my knowledge of One Mind on the final boss on this playthrough. Hold on, let me see what playthrough I'm on. I don't think it'll tell me. Yeah, no. We'll have to see after I beat the game. Which I'm just going for a normal ending since I've already gotten everything in this. We're gonna go to the Lookout. Gonna go to the Lookout and we're gonna go on from there. That's where I originally was, so it's whatever. I usually go up to the Lookout to like to view stuff and do all that shit without the need of having to be into like a safe area where you are forced to sheath your sword. Yeah, this is where I'm going. Alright, let's go. Let's go do some shit. Don't mind me. Bitch. Oh, guess what? You're so bad. Absolute dog water. Sit down, bitch. Right. Moving on. Now I'm gonna be a little sneaky. Looks like somebody's gonna get sneak killed. I might utilize the blood blade for this since I totally could. This would be the one opportunity, one of the few opportunities where I can use it, so I might as well fucking use it. So I'm gonna just sneak up on this guy and get a little snake kill. Ow. Alright, suicidal. Sadly, it wore off. That's a little depressing. Alright, just keep doing it. I like her. Shit. Hoi! And Slurpee. Come at me, bitch. Oh! Got him. I like his outfit. I really wish that they added more outfits for Sekiro. There's only like 2 that are really good. The Tengu one was a huge disappointment. It's a good costume, but like I just felt like it could have been done better. And since I have grapple hand, I don't have to actually take that route. I can just grapple here. Alright. I think I should have gotten the temple key for the sanctuary, whatever, the key from Emma. I'm 110% sure I got it before doing any of that. stuff. Okay, yeah, I have one mined. Yeah, the secret passage key. I do have it. Might as well change this since the opportunity has passed, and I only use that for, like, in the world for extra stealth capabilities. This is going to be interesting. I'm not going to use the Yashiro-Q on Genichiro up here. He is not worth the time and effort, so I do not need to do that. I'll watch this cutscene. It is a good cutscene.
久しいな、巫女の忍び。見よ、不思議りのもう一振りよ。
健一郎殿。そのようなものでは、決してアシナの命運は変わりませぬ。狼よ、流因など誰の手にもあるべきではないのだ。苦労をかけるな。
脅威。参る。ああ、姉妹としよう。
All right, here we go. Doing okay? Shit, I forgot to do the stab. The one thing that I need to do. As long as I don't lose half of my health, below half, I should be good. Oh, he does a lot of posture damage, I need to be careful. I might actually need to heal from that. I'll see how far I can go. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I can... Actually, no, he's coming right at me, so there would be no point. Ow. They're being a bitch. Fuck you. Alright, so I'm probably gonna have to do a few things. One. And then slurp. Alright, let's do this. Alright, I guess he missed. Point. I fucked up that parry. That's a little sad. Alright, cool. We're on the second part. Let's go. Let's do this. Bang, 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 bang. Bitch. Son of a bitch. My analog is terrible. I need to get like some of those extenders and just get them explored. I'm thinking about getting those extenders. I might need to. Because that would help immensely. God damn, dude. That is bad. That's the worst drifting I've seen all day today. Right, so now he's got lightning. Point. Yeah, see? That's why you need to cancel it. And since I was not ready, since I was not aware that he was actually doing that, oh my bad. I accidentally took damage instead of actually blocking that. Perfect time. That was the perfect time to buff up. I could have used that to punish, but since we're in third phase, I don't think it would have mattered. Come on, bro. Yeah. God, this guy's just suicidal, so I guess I don't really get to use one mine this time. He didn't like me using it, I guess. He'd rather die by my hand officially than with just a combat art, I guess. I don't know. I used it once and I got my ass beat, so. Well, no, I managed to use it twice, but it's not really helping my case here. I am walking on air. I knew I was powerful, just not that powerful. Yep, there it is. That's how you know Sekiro is like the most powerful being, is when he starts breaking the very laws of physics itself. Yo, what up, child? How you doing? Don't mind me. Alright. Yeah, don't mind the weird stench that's like in your face right now. That had nothing to do with me. Absolutely 100% had nothing to do with me. In all seriousness, no, I actually do care about this kid. Give him that shit.
竜の涙。
生涯の忍びを虫たちをお願いできますか。
これはやはりあなたが持っていてください。また新しい忍びが力を求める時が来るでしょう。
Watching this cutscene is like giving me a really good idea for a sequel for this. Like you can literally make a sequel off of that ending. Okay, yeah. So I was on 49. That's the playthrough that I was on. I'm striking for 100. I'm going for 100 on this. I love this game so much. I platinum it. I still play it. I just think it's worth getting to 100 new games. I don't know why. I just feel like it is absolutely necessary for me to do that. But this game would be great for a sequel. I feel like the sequel for this could be so good. This game was perfect in every single aspect. The ninjutsus are probably like the one thing I didn't like about it, because the ninjutsus were such a huge letdown because they were only like a few time use, and you can only use them on like normal enemies. You can never utilize them in boss fights, which sucked. But everything else about that was great. The combat arts were great. The combat itself were great. The shinobi tools I absolutely love, even though I don't use them that often. I mainly use the shuriken, but I do actually use this a little bit. Probably my most... These two are like my most used right here, which is why I just have them equipped. And then if I find a boss that has a weakness or is just better for a specific tool, I'll just put that on the empty slot, so I'm just more effective. more flexible, pretty much. But this game was phenomenal. I loved every single bit of it, and I got super bummed out when I platinumed it because there would basically be nothing for me to do. But at the same time, I still came back to it because after they added the new feature with the multiple boss attemptions that you can do, you can replay bosses, the challenges that give you a new combat art and some costumes. One of them you get from beating the game, but the other two were just phenomenal. I wish one of them was designed a little bit better. This game could have been so much better, in my opinion. There are a lot of things to fix about it in terms of just like expansion. I don't think the story or anything like that is actually the problem. I don't think the game itself is the problem. It's the fact that From Software neglected to build upon this aspect. That is what the big problem is in this game, because this game has so much good potential. I would have loved a sequel where you play as like a different shinobi in like a different area, or maybe the same area but just differently because of the fact of how many years have passed. And instead of the sculptor being Sekiro, you meet Sekiro. You meet Wolf himself, and he's just doing what the sculptor did. That would have been so cool. Like, you play through a game that has a different story, different things that you can unlock, but having Wolf as your mentor and, like, helping him, and him helping you, like, with stuff. Like, you can really do some shit with that, because he was a shinobi, as was Sekiro. I like to think as their relationships as Sekiro and Sekiro were like partners, and they just helped each other occasionally, assuming that you're playing through the game for the first time. Obviously, if you've done everything and you've gotten everything, you almost never, ever talk to him, unless you really want to listen to his dialogue, or if you want to give him some sake for lore, or like a bit of his backstory, which I do all the time because I love Sekiro. I love him so much. He's like one of my favorite side characters of all time in this game. In any From Software game, actually. But, he is just... I just love their relationship. And, like, it would have been nice for, like, Wolf to go through that scenario that Sekiro did with him. Like, he would have to be the mentor of a different shinobi. That would have been so good, and they could have added so much more shit. They could have added like more shinobi like outfits. They could have added like way more customization. Personally, I would prefer outfits over armor, because let's be honest, like actual armor systems are rigged. They are just not that good. They're pointless. Like Elden Ring is like a prime example of that. But unless you're like really needing to do it, then it's whatever. But like, I love the outfit system, and I really wish that they were a little bit more flexible with the outfits, because the outfits were a little bit stale for me, except for this one. This one is my favorite. Personally, this one is the best done one. It just carries on from the Shura ending, which is my favorite out of the 3 alternate endings. I love that ending so much. It is so good. Probably one of the best voice acting I've heard in a game, pretty much. Because, like, Kuro killed it. Even though he wasn't in that scene, that ending for very long, he nailed it. I really felt the sorrow and, like, sadness in his voice when he would say what he does in that ending. If you don't know the ending, I recommend checking it out. It is an epic fight between friends turn enemies. It's such a great concept. I always loved that stereotype. But the fact that you play as that person that is switching sides is just fantastic. Really like it. But if you watch that ending, this is the outfit that is based off of that ending. Pretty much like an alternate universe where like this actually happened, and this is the form that he looks. He pretty much just looks like himself, but he's all fucked up. He has like burn marks in his skin that are showing up. His cloak, his jacket is like fucked up and shit. This does not need to be changed. Personally, I think the Tengu one needs to be changed. Hold on, let me slap that on real quick. This one is the weirdest. The more I look at it, the more disturbed I am. Like, why is he shirtless? The pants are way too short. The mask is fine. The mask part of it is great. And I honestly don't mind the hair, but I felt like they should have let his hair down, or like if they were going to do it, I felt like they should have done like a Ronin Tengu type scenario, where like he would have like a robe and jacket, maybe like the classic, just like his normal jacket, or like a jacket that's in his style. Here, let me show you what I mean. Let me go back to his original form. Pretty much like this. Just make him have his normal jacket, but just in a like, different color scheme. And then give him like a shirt and stuff, and give him like a reed hat or like a straw hat and stuff. Give him like a little cloak maybe. I do like the reed cloak. That's actually not bad. Or the straw cloak. I felt like they could have done it better if they just gave him, like, a jacket of some sort, or, like, some form of clothing, but the fact that he's just using the cloak of straw as body armor, or, like, clothing in any way for his chest is just really disturbing to me. And I felt like they could have given him a hat for the Tengu mask. That would have been badass. They could have done that with a lot of the outfits, though. But, yeah, overall, this game is actually really, really good, and I was really depressed when I finished it completely, because this game is so good. And anyone, I'm going to just say this right now, I have seen a few comments of people that saying that this game is boring and shit. You have no taste. That's it. Like, this game is fantastic. This is one of the best, this is the best From Software game of all time. It is up there with Bloodborne. Like, it is on par with Bloodborne. Bloodborne and Sekiro are, like, right next to each other on the tier scale. They are identical in terms of perfection. They are fabulous. Elden Ring is okay. Elden Ring is probably, like, I don't know, 5. If I were to give it a scale on a 1 to 10, it's way overrated. I don't think it's as good as people say it is. I've experienced a lot of problems with it. I don't know if I have, and there was this one boss that everyone hates, but everyone knows, Melania. I always wanted to speak this, get this off my chest, because I felt like it needs to be said. But am I the only one, besides my friends, that think Melania wasn't originally supposed to be in Elden Ring? Okay. Fair enough. No. But here, let me explain what I mean. So, the biggest problem that I have with Melania is her waterfall dance. And I don't mean that as in, like, it's really hard to dodge. Honestly, it is hard to dodge. It can be hard to dodge. And in fact, let me just say this. It's probably the worst part of her moveset. I hate it, absolutely. But I mean it as in, like, I felt like it was not supposed to originally be there. Like, it didn't feel natural for that game. Like, it felt out of place. Hold on, let me go back to my original God bod. I felt like the waterfowl dance, like, didn't necessarily belonged in Elden Ring. Like, it didn't... Not that I'm saying that, like, they needed to remove it because it's a terrible move. Like, I genuinely think that Melania was originally supposed to be a boss for Sekiro, but since they did all the shit with Sekiro, they were just like, whatever, fuck it. We were going to put her in the DLC, but we need to start working on Elden Ring. So what we'll do is we'll take this character that we were originally going to put in Sekiro, keep her moveset the same, change up her lore, change up her design, change up her voice, do a few more little tweaks here and there, add her into the game, and we're good. Like, I legitimately think that Melania was originally supposed to be a boss for Sekiro, but they just decided to put her in Elden Ring because I guess they just didn't feel like doing shit with Sekiro anymore. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Personally, I felt like I do genuinely think Melania would be better if she didn't have the waterfall dance, mainly because of the points that I just stated and the fact that it is pretty hard to dodge. Probably one of the hardest moves to dodge in the game, even with a light load. I've done it multiple times with a light load, and I still can't get it. I feel like it's just something with me. I don't want to give up on Elden Ring. I feel like the dodge in that was a little weird. I felt like whenever I got hit, I felt like it was really unfair, even if it was fair, because of how much BS I've been gotten thrown at in that game. Like, I don't understand where people are coming from. Like, oh, this thing's a 10 out of 10. No wonder this thing got Game of the Year. And I'm just... Really? Is it really that good, though? My friends think the exact same thing, and I know that's not a lot, but that proves that not everyone just thinks that it's a good game. I honestly, personally don't think it's a good game. It's not terrible. There are moments that I love in the game. Malkieth is probably one of the best bosses I've ever seen in an Elden Ring game, or a From Software game. He was my favorite boss in Elden Ring. He still is, even though he's a bit of a bitch now since I'm on a pretty high New Game Plus in that. I still get wet dreams about him. Like, he's a good boss. I like him. I still get wet dreams about him. I'm a fucking furry. Whatever. I always hated that phrase. But he is a good boss. I genuinely like him. He is a likable boss. Probably the best boss in the game. Godfrey, Melania, and those two can fuck off entirely. I hate them. Melania would be a lot easier if she didn't have the waterfall dance, but I'm not going to use the waterfall dance as an excuse, but at the same time I can, because that's the only real move I have a struggle with. That's the only move I have a struggle with in her moveset. Everything else is just perfectly fine to dodge. I don't find any trouble with it. It's just that one move. It's just the waterfall dance. Godfrey, I hate how midway during both of his phases, he just gets a full screen stomp. It was really annoying, but it also taught me to really know when to use items and shit, which I like, but at the same time, there are much better ways to do it, like Sekiro. Sekiro does that way better. Yeah, we're talking about you. Well, we were, but now I'm moving on to Elden Ring and my problems with that game. This originally went to like a training video for me because I wanted to go and try and do some combat arts, and now I'm just dissing on anyone that likes Elden Ring, which you can take the opinion with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. If you have fun with the game, go for it. Personally, I platinumed it and I felt no rejoicement or like no sorrow because of it. Like I was just like, yay, I platinumed it. That means I don't need to play it anymore. Great. But I just get really angry and like really irritated when people like show me video when I get a short or like I see a video like, oh man, you gotta try this build. Or like, oh man, this game is like really, really good. It's a 10 out of 10. No wonder it got Game of the Year. Like, this is a good game. I get really infuriated, and I take that with a grain of salt, because like, the game's not perfect. I don't want to say it's a 10 out of 10. Personally, if we're talking purely out of the From Software games, I'd say Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro are like the three chads of the From Software games. Elden Ring I don't think is anywhere near Sekiro or Bloodborne level, and I'd say it's a little bit below Dark Souls 3. I didn't like Dark Souls 3 as much as Bloodborne, but I like it more than Elden Ring because the dodging in that made more sense by the fact that it was just a full-on invincibility frame, rather than just, like, you really have to time it, plus the jumps in Elden Ring. Like, there's a sweet spot in mid-dodge in Elden Ring, which would be fine for me, but, like, it gets outright unfair in Elden Ring when I miss a dodge, and in return, I just get one shot. I don't know, like, if that's declared fair because, you know, I don't know much, but all I know is that every time I did it in every other game that I played, such as like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, whenever I would miss a dodge, I usually didn't get one shot. Bloodborne had a great mechanic, the counter mechanic, which, if you didn't know what that was, is if you were punished after doing something, say they countered you, like if they hit you mid-dodge because you dodged too early or too late, or if they hit you while you were shooting a gun, or they managed to hit you out of a combo, you'll take double damage for it. And getting one shot by a counter system like that is perfectly fine because you know that the system exists. So you know that getting one shot by it is just like, damn it, I was being too aggressive, or shit, I dodged way too late or way too early, or fuck, I should have timed my gunshot a little bit better. And Dark Souls doesn't have that, but the thing is that, like, if you miss or, like, fuck up on something, you're not punished with a restart. You're just punished with a health state. You're just punished with damage. You're not punished with an instant restart. Like, I feel like in Elden Ring, the bosses weren't hard. Like, when they were originally making them, they were just like, I don't think this damage output is going to really do it. It's not really helping. It doesn't make the game hard at all. How about this? Says the owner of the from software. I cannot pronounce his name to save my life, but he just comes in and he's just like, I have a crazy idea, and this just might work because I am not failing this Game of the Year streak. Okay, this game is gonna get Game of the Year. I swear to you. I swear to you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take every single main boss and any mini boss that is super fucking difficult, and anytime they fuck up in the slightest, they'll get one shot. And then once he says that, everyone in the development team was just like, oh, that's genius. And then they just immediately implemented it into the game. That's like my little story on how I feel like they made the damage output for characters. Because in Elden Ring, I feel like some characters should not be doing as much damage as they should. Like, Melania on a certain New Game Plus, which I'm on. I'm in the double digits. I'm in, like, New Game Plus 12. When I fought her in New Game Plus 12, if I fucked up a dodge and got grabbed, I would get instantly killed. And sometimes I would dodge and I would get grabbed during my invisibility frames, and I get one shot for it. I got killed, punished, and had to restart because I managed to dodge something correctly, which was a little infuriating. Luckily, she doesn't do it as much. I don't see her do it that much. Like, I've never seen her, like, spam grab, which luckily I didn't have to do it, but it was a little infuriating knowing that I managed to dodge something, but the game let her hit it anyway. It was a little upsetting. And one of the best bosses in the game, in Elden Ring, this is sarcasm, was the Fire Giant. I absolutely hate the Fire Giant. The Fire Giant, his damage output is unfair, but it makes sense. He's a huge boss. I'm not gonna hate on From Software for making a giant boss have a giant damage output. I'm perfectly fine with that. It infuriates me, yeah, it's still incredibly frustrating, but I'm less frustrating knowing that it makes sense for that character. But at the same time, it does get a little upsetting where I'm at a state in the game on New Game Plus where I have to go through the boss flawlessly. No mistakes. If I make a single mistake, I have to restart. Like, no moves of the Fire Giant do less damage than others. All of them will one-shot me if I'm not careful. And it gets really annoying. It's satisfying to pull off, don't get me wrong. Beating a boss without getting hit once is the most fantastic and orgasm-causing feeling in the world in video games. Being able to beat a boss without getting hit once. It is fantastic. It's a great feeling. But when you're forced to do it, that's different. If you just manage to do it, like say if I was fighting Malkieth and I managed to beat him first try, 0 hits, that would be super rewarding. It would be so fantastic. But with Fire Giant, at the stage that I'm at in the game with my new game pluses, I don't just have to beat him flawlessly. I'm forced into doing it. I can't make a mistake. If I make a mistake, I'm get punished by a restart. And the biggest problem with that is that From Software 100% implemented that on purpose. They 100% did that. And I saw the Game Awards video. I saw a video on the Game Awards where they were going up to get the reward for the Game of the Year award for Elden Ring. And it was really, really hilarious, but also really upsetting because I saw the I want to say CEO of From Software, like the main guy. I need to know his fucking name. I might look it up. Hold on. Let me look it up. This video has been mainly talking anyway. Like the main like second half has been talking about Elden Ring. I've been kind of wasting time here. Here we go. Hidetaka, I think that's how you say that. Hidetaka Miyazaki. Yeah. Hidetaki Miyazaki. When I saw Hidetaki Miyazaki walk up to go get the award for Game of the Year, I saw this. He was making this face like, heh, we made this really fucking garbage-ass game and we still got Game of the Year. I mean, it's not garbage, but it's mediocre. I should have probably did my words better. But pretty much he was just like walking up there and he had like this smug look on his face, like he just sold a completely like mediocre and not even that good of a game, and it still got Game of the Year, which is probably going to put in his mind that him and his team no longer have to try it. They just have to bring out a game, and it'll be good. They'll get Game of the Year. Because that's what happened with Elden Ring. Because 90% of the generation these days have zero taste when it comes to games. Everyone hated Dark Souls 2 because everyone had a fucking brain. Everyone knew that game was inferior to Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. Everyone knew that. But now with Elden Ring, the game has like such a big problem. Like it has, I'd want to say it has similar mechanics as to Dark Souls 2 in terms of dodging. And people just eat it up. People just are just like, oh god, yeah, this game is so good. I feel like the only reason it got Game of the Year was because there were so many people that were waiting for it. I was one of these people. There were so many people that were just waiting for Elden Ring. Like, there were so many memes about it. Like, everyone is just like a dying corpse waiting for the loving and great embrace of Elden Ring, and then we finally got it. And because it took so long, everyone is just saying that it's good, when in reality it's not. I had a friend who played Dark Souls 2, and at first he really, really enjoyed it. He started having a lot more fun with it, and he even legitimately tried to get me to get it. But then he started getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the game. The farther he went, the more he hated the game. That was me with Elden Ring. I was thinking, oh wow, this is going to be so fucking cool. And then I saw it was free roam. And that immediately triggered my alarms. Because I know From Software, and they're not going to give me a hint on anything. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to stick to the areas that I know I need to be. And I ended up trying to figure out where to go. I followed the Graces. I did everything I could. I went to Morgott, which is just Morgott in a disguise. But I got to Morgott, the first appearance of Morgott, and I started getting demolished. One shot after one shot after one shot. So I was just like, okay, maybe I'll go level up a bit. That seems like a good idea. I farmed up, I got some runes, I leveled up a bit, I got a few more levels, I managed to defeat him by the skin of my teeth, barely, with the help of a summon of an AI, which I almost never used them. So the fact that I used them was also another alarm signal for me. Um, and like the more I went through it, the more alarms in my head started going off, and the more I played it, and then the further to the end that I got, I started realizing that, maybe this game isn't as good as I thought it was. But there were some good aspects of it. Probably one of my favorite bosses in terms of fighting, like ones that I love fighting, was Radagon / Elden Beast. Everyone hates him. I know there are like a bunch of memes about how Elden Beast is like one of the hardest bosses. One of them anyway. Millennia apparently is still like in the top tier in terms of difficulty because of the waterfall dance. But I absolutely love fighting Radagon / Elden Beast. I feel like Radagon / Elden Beast was like a boss that like the actual team could work on their own. So that's why it ended up being so good. Like they could work at it at their own pace. Because I feel like the entire game was just kind of like rushed a little bit. There were moments in the game where I thought like, yeah, I feel like this might have been a little bit rushed. I don't want to say that it was. It just felt like it, if you catch my drift. But I don't even know how to really like describe how something feels rushed, but like if you know, you know. Like it's a feeling that like it's hard to explain, but if you felt it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I felt like Radagon was actually worked on like legitimately. Like he was actually worked on a little bit better. And at first, when I first started playing, I thought Radagon was going to just be the end of me. I thought I was just going to end the playthrough, my playthrough, and just put the game down forever and just never touch it again. Then I started realizing and started getting better at him, and then I started clicking, and I was just like, oh yeah, oh this is the From Software I remember. Oh my, dear Lord. But yeah, point is that like Radagon is probably like one of my favorite bosses to fight. My favorite boss in terms of like appearance was Malekith, 100%. I loved Malekith. His appearance is probably like the coolest. I love how he starts out as like a shady old like figure at the beginning of the fight, who you can meet. You meet him before them, which I didn't realize that until a few videos told me that. And his appearance when he gets his blade of death, of destined death, holy shit. I like creamed, pissed, shit, and like died at the same time. Like it was such a good cutscene. I loved it. But at the end of the day, he's also dog, so he was a little overwhelming, but at the same time, it was severely easy. I beat him on like my first try. And then my favorite boss, like lore-wise, I gotta give it to Millennia. I found her lore like extremely fascinating. Like I really liked her lore. How like her and her brother went to go build a Hilga tree in hopes that they could cure Millennia's scarlet rot that she was born with because of Radagon being a fucking ginger. That's just like my own self-implanted joke. I feel like that like gingers are just born with scarlet rot. I mean, think about it. There are 3 characters. Only one of them doesn't have fucking scarlet rot, and that's because of the fact that he's like 2 people in one. So like he probably has it, but it doesn't like affect him in any way. And then Millennia has it, and fucking what was her name? Was it Millicent? I think that's what her name was. Millicent, the other red-haired chick that you meet in Caelid in the church, where she has to cut off her arm and then you give her a prosthetic and shit. Just like Millennia. Like a mini Millennia, because it turns out that she's actually her daughter. Like multiple versions of her daughter. Or like maybe twins? I don't remember. I know she's like a descendant of Millennia though. She's a daughter of Millennia. But like everyone that has scarlet rot, aside from like obvious reasons, like enemies and shit, like, they're all redheads. They're all redheads. They're all fucking gingers. I'm starting to think that, like, if I walk by a ginger, I'm gonna get scarlet rot, like, straight up. No, it's not that bad, but, like, it's just, like, a little self-implanted joke, because, like, literally everyone from Radagon's bloodline that has red hair has fucking scarlet rot, like, literally. I don't remember all of Radagon's children. I just know Melania is one of them, and she has scarlet rot because she's a ginger. I think Mikola, actually, is one of Radagon's children. I don't know if he's a redhead, but I know he was, like, he wasn't really born with, like, any powerful powers, like his his half-siblings or anything like that, or just his normal sibling. But I know he was born with, like, incredible intelligence. And then he gets kidnapped by Mogwin, the Blood Lord. Oh, God. And he was just the Lord of Blood. He was just a demigod that just can control blood. Who was originally just, like, a normal omen guy, like Morgott, and then eventually he found, I think, like, the Brood Mother? Something Mother, like a creature or, like, a goddess of some sort that granted him the power of blood manipulation and blood magic. Well, not really blood manipulation. He's not, like, making swords out of blood and shit. He's not, he's no Scarlet, but, she gave him, like, a spear that can channel the energy of the Brood Mother, and, like, magic and shit that does the same. But I also read the lore of those spells, and apparently the only reason they're channeling it is that it's literally, like, actually stabbing or, like, injuring the mother. Like, she's got a pain fetish or some shit. And, like, injuring her is, like, what's giving her that. Like, you're literally just, like, ripping clumps out, or, like, chunks out of her, or, like, grabbing, like, a blood packet that just happens to be in her stomach, and then just yeeting it out at people, or using the spear and just stabbing a woman in the gut because you need to get blood loss or do a cheap tactic off a cliff. I don't fucking know. I don't know the full lore of Mogwin. I just know that Mikola and Melania were originally two kids. One of them had Scarlet Rot, one of them had Critical Intelligence. The one with the Critical Intelligence had sympathy for the one that had Scarlet Rot, so they made a tree, and then the tree ended up not really working the way they wanted to, but they ended up living there anyway, and then they get kidnapped. One of them gets kidnapped, and the other one is super depressed, and then they end up having a fight with Radon, and then they have a draw. She goes and gets carried back by one of her soldiers. One of the Kaled soldiers. She gets all the way back to her Hilga tree. She just stays in a fucking statue pose right next to the place where Mikola used to stay, and Mogwin just goes over, is trying to fucking seduce or, like, corrupt Mikola with the power of blood. That's all I know. I don't know much about Mogwin. He's a little weird. He gives me really creepy pedo vibes because of Mikola. I don't really know why the pedo specifically, because I don't know how old Mikola is, but I know he's old enough to be an adult, and plus he made a fucking tree, but still. I have been rambling on for I don't know how long. The stream has been a lot longer than I wanted it to be, and I hated that I ended this on, like, such a rambling note. I just really felt like getting that off of my chest, though, because, like, I felt like it needed to be addressed, whether, like, oh, is Sekiro better, or, like, what is the best From Software game? Personally, for me, Bloodborne, Sekiro. If you like Elden Ring, I don't fucking care. Personally, if it's your first From Software game, it's a little concerning to me. And I say this because you're missing out on a lot. Because Sekiro and Bloodborne are, like, really, really good. Dark Souls is also really good. I have not played the first one, like, fully. I've played a bit of it, and I got to Artorias because one of my friends that had it had the DLC, and Artorias is, like, my favorite boss in Dark Souls ever. He's, like, my favorite boss, 100% without a doubt. But, I can't really have an opinion on a game unless I fully play it and own it at the same time. So I'm just going to leave my opinion from Dark Souls 1 alone, but I do recommend it because I do know how good the game is. And since the remaster is out, it's probably better to get the remastered. If you played the original and then played the remastered, you'd probably be pretty pissed because the remaster is literally exactly what it is. It's just a remaster. Nothing's changed. Hell, the graphic update wasn't even that good anyway. Dark Souls 2 is not really worth your time. If you feel venturous, you can probably try wasting your time with it. I personally don't think you should, because I played it a lot as a little kid, and that went well. It's just not that good of a game. Dark Souls 3, 100%, 100% get it, but only get it if you get the 2 DLCs for it. The 2 DLCs are what really make the game shine. Don't get me wrong, the base game is good too, but like the DLC is like just even better. It's just adding like that extra salt onto it, like just like that extra spice, all that pepper and salt. And then Sekiro, 100%, you need to play it. You 100% need to give it a try. And I don't want to necessarily say that I want to force you to play it, but I recommend saving your opinions until you're fully done with the game. Because the game gets... I don't want to say that the game gets better once you beat it, because that's not entirely true. But it is hard to get in because it's a little weird and a little confusing. But when you get... It gets better the more you play it, which is what I like about it. When in Elden Ring I was like, oh, this is really cool, and then the more I played it, the more I hated it and disliked it, and the less of my expectations went down. And this, it was the opposite. I was just like, alright, this is a cool game. It's very Japanese. Like, I like Japanese, so I think I'll have fun. By the end of it, I was just like, this is the best thing in my life. Anyway, yeah, been rambling for too long. I'm going to end this stream off right here. I've just been standing on this podium rambling about my problems with Elden Ring and pretty much dissing on everyone that likes it. But overall, in terms of like the actual thing that I was planning on doing, I think I still need a little bit more practice. I didn't really get much of a chance to actually utilize the combat art against Ishin. I might try it against Demon of Hatred, because I've never tried using a combat art on Demon of Hatred, but I'm going to do that off screen. But anyway, thank you for, if you actually did manage to get past all that rambling, I appreciate you. You are a Chad. You are an absolute Chad. I'd fuck you. No. My humor is so fucking broken. I could literally just like look at a rock and laugh at it because it's just in the shape of something that I like. My humor is so broken at this point. But aside from the rambles, if you guys want to keep, want to see me do more streams or just more videos in general on video games, I would really like to know. This is the first video/stream I've uploaded in forever. I've basically been dead. And I came back because I really felt like it was needed. I felt like letting people know that I'm still alive. And the only reason I haven't really been doing very many videos and that I haven't really been uploading is because I don't know if it's something that people want me to still be doing, which is a problem. If you guys want to see some Elden Ring, I could have 100% played some Elden Ring too. I don't really necessarily hate the game, I just have a lot of problems with it. Like I said, there are parts in the game that I absolutely love, and I would love to experience again, like as if I played it the first time. But there are just a lot of problems that I experienced with it. And if I actually stream Elden Ring, it'd be nice for you guys to come in and maybe tell me that I'm doing something wrong, because I don't necessarily want to give up on the game. Because everyone is saying it's really good. I'm not seeing it, but I want to see it. Because I invested a lot of time into this game. I've platinumed Elden Ring, and I don't want to just give up on it. So, I want to do something with it. So yeah, if you guys want to see me do a new playthrough on Elden Ring, I'm thinking about making a new character. Then yeah, 100%. Please tell me. And if you are curious, you guys can join my streams when I decide to play Elden Ring and let me know if I'm doing something wrong in terms of gameplay, because I really Really need the tutoring because I don't think I'm doing anything right in that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next stream though. Thanks for the therapy session. Pretty much just turned this into an entire therapy session. But anyway, thanks for dealing with my rambling. I hope you subscribe. Give me more motivation. I haven't really been very motivated, and I don't really know what else to do besides play some From Software games, because that's really what I've been into. I've said I was about to end this stream 2-3 times. All right, I'm gonna head out now. I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video.